Welcome to a special episode of the Chi-Town Shoot Wrestling Podcast. Today we're joined by a man who is currently redefining what it means to be a blue chip prospect. He's a product of the legendary Creative Pro Wrestling School, a former chaotic wrestling heavyweight champion, and a standout member of the WWE ID program. He is the Dimepiece and evil gay himself, Aaron Rourke. Aaron, thanks for stepping into the booth with us.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for that wonderfully accurate introduction.
Of course.
Hair flip.
Only the best.
Yep.
Yeah, only the best
evil
for the best.
gay.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, like you talked about before we started, you had a seminar earlier with TJ. Can you tell us a little bit about that? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, he is good friends with my trainer, Brian. We all know Brian Myers, TNA superstar.
Yep.
So he came by today to drop some knowledge and answer our questions and talk to us about, wrestling, his experience, the future, what they're looking for. And then we were able to have some practice matches for him. So it was really awesome. I had gone down to the dungeon a couple times already. So it was nice to see him again and get to listen to him and his advice and everything. And Bailey dropped by. She came by unannounced, very surprised. And
That's amazing.
She got to sit back and watch some practice matches, which she enjoyed, and it was awesome. She's amazing.
So how do you guys do like practice matches? Do you just is it like a formal thing where you're doing like a seminar, or you guys just I'm just gonna start doing some training with you, and then you get in the ring? Like, how does that work?
Seminars are different depending on each person that does it. There's some people who really want to see your technique and your footwork and what you bring to the table in terms of wrestling. Some people really like to have a nice intimate talking session, or so it really depends on the wrestler. I think for TJ, he wanted to give us the best of both worlds, so I was very thankful for that. So just we made up some matches and we took a couple minutes to go over what we needed to go over, and then we hit the ring and gave it our best and got some good critiques and feedback.
Nice. So I know that you're from Long Island, New York. I know you did a good chunk of your wrestling in basically the Northeast region in Long Island and Massachusetts. And so the dungeon, that's in Orlando, or is that in Florida right now?
Yes, the dungeon is in Florida.
Are you currently in Florida then?
No, I am not. I am currently in below 30 Long Island.
Yeah, we're
in the giant sweatshirt.
Yeah, we're in 30-degree Chicago over here. So did you just fly in and then just fly back, basically, or where was the seminar?
The seminar was at Creative Pro.
Oh, it was a Creative Pro. Okay, cool.
So awesome. I think they were in town, so they were able to stop by.
Nice.
Yeah, so, I was gagged when Bailey walked through the door. I was gagged.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you get a chance to talk with her a little bit?
I said hi. You don't want to bother. You just kind of want to say hi. How are you? And she's very nice. She enjoyed all the matches, and she was very kind to everyone. So we all know she's a gem. She's an absolute wonderful human being. But I got to talk to her in passing. But I was honestly thankful, because I think I would have passed out if we had any more conversation.
Just go full on Mark.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. If it's one of the four horsewomen,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna break.
I was gonna say, is there any wrestler that you would absolutely pass out or mark out to, besides somebody like Bailey?
It's a lot. So we all know I'm an avid women's wrestling fan. So it would be a lot of Charlotte Flair's, Mercedes Moné, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, just all those people who kind of were influential. Trish Stratus, Lita. If I met them, I would be able to retire tomorrow. I'd be I did everything. I did it.
Nice.
That'd be amazing. I'd love to see that. So I guess I do. We did a little bit of a, I was very curious about your seminar stuff, but I do want to kind of rewind all the way back to the beginning and kind of, figure out like where did your love of pro wrestling start? How did you start watching pro wrestling? I think it's always fascinating, like from the folks that we've interviewed, like what got them roped in. And I'm kind of curious about where you got your start.
So I feel like every wrestling fan, we've watched it since we were young. I was about 5 when I first saw wrestling. It was the Armageddon Hell in a Cell, the 6-man. And
Right,
it
2000?
was, yeah, when Undertaker threw Rikishi off the cell into that bed of wood chips.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mhm.
That was like, I don't remember. I don't know if my cousin or like my uncle had the pay-per-view on, but I remember I saw that and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then, like you're 5, so, you don't understand anything. So I think a little later on in life, I remember like flipping through channels, I think at like 7 or 8. And then I saw like SmackDown and I was like, huh? And then I saw it and I was like, oh, it's that thing. It's that thing I saw. And it was right from there. And I was able to be like, all right, it's every week at this time. And then I was like, oh, there's another one. There's a Monday Night Raw. Okay. So then it just took off from there.
Yeah, I feel like we started around a similar time. It was like 2000, and I feel like my first memories was like the Kurt Angle, Stephanie McMahon, like love triangle type thing on SmackDown. Like that was like a thing I vividly remember as some of my first wrestling memories. And yeah, I loved it for the drama. And I was like a big Stephanie McMahon fan.
Yeah, oh my God. She was that era of Stephanie McMahon where she was the GM putting people in place.
Yeah.
Heavy Stephanie fan. I'm all grown up now.
I mean that's a fucking banger, I gotta say.
It goes hard in the gym.
Yeah, I mean Queendom, I mean it's good too, but I do like All Grown Up now. Yeah. So you grew up in Long Island. Like tell me how is Long Island like growing up? And you're openly gay, and I feel like in Chicago, and I mean like you're near New York, you're in New York City basically. So, but like Long Island, I feel like is a little bit of a different vibe, right, than the rest of New York City, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about back 10-ish years ago, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, I came out at a very young age. I was like 13 at the time. So, there wasn't a lot of people like me in my school system, period. Or like in general in my town, Levittown. So it was interesting. I'll say that growing up was definitely, it was a suburban neighborhood, and just being different was a little hard, because kids are very uniform and they believe this and they believe that. And then if you are not with that group or this group and you're just in your own lane, they're like, you're a weirdo. So growing up was tough. I had to like toughen up pretty fast and just deal with it and just kind of let people know they can't mess with me. But as you get older and like things evolve and the world evolves and people's minds open up, it got better as it got older. But growing up was tricky.
Yeah, I mean, like you're braver than I don't think I came out until when I was 25 years old. So 13, I mean, that's like peak hormones. Everybody's putting everybody in boxes, and yeah, that's not a fun time. There was just
no hope for me. Like there was no hiding it. You couldn't hide this voice. You couldn't hide the hairstyle I had. I had a red Justin Bieber bowl cut. Like it was not happening. So it was like I definitely know what I am, and I'd rather just be that than be something I'm not.
Amen.
And that's amazing. Like people have said that you're a role model. I think that's very important, especially like even today, like even in the year of our Lord 2026, like that's still very, very much important to have representation that I feel like is still not big enough. And I'm so happy that you're part of this bigger stage where you're able to showcase what you can do. And it's you're more than just that,
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I really appreciate that.
So I did read a little bit in previous interviews. So were you a dancer for 9 years and a cheerleader?
So I I was a dancer for 9 years. I wasn't a cheerleader for that long. So I had played football with Gabby Forza. We had played on the same team. And I was like I did it for like a year and I was like, this isn't like I liked running and like tackling them, but I just didn't understand the whole idea of like not letting him pass me with the ball. I let him pass me and then would chase him. Always chasing boys. Always chasing men. Nothing changes. So it was one of those things where after that I was like, oh, I kind of like what they're doing with the pom poms, and then I did that, and I was like, I did that for a little bit, and then I was like, I went straight into like dance because my sister was doing it, and I was like, I like her costumes, I want to do that.
What kind of dance?
I did like every type of dance other than ballet. I did like a half year of ballet because that shit sucks. It is so hard. It is so hard, so demanding, and so just difficult. And it kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie.
It sounds the most stressful, I gotta say, out of any kind of dance routine. Which one did you feel like you? So you did it. You did a whole bunch. Which one do you feel like you gravitated more towards, like style?
I really liked tap dancing. That was really fun for me. I also really liked hip hop. Like I really loved to do a nice pop lock and drop it.
Yeah.
At ages 10 to 12, that was fun. But yeah, I loved all of that, like dance, theater, acting, singing. Like this is so nerdy. I went to theater camps as a kid. Like it was at Queensborough Community College for like a month and a half. You would go like Monday through Friday from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you just work with choreographers and singers and playwriters, and you just come up with this whole recital by the end of the month. And I thought that was sick.
Do you have a favorite like musical or like theater production that like kind of like jumped out at you?
I mean, I'm an original Wicked stand from 2006.
I didn't want to like bring up Wicked because it's so timely. Yeah, one of our friends is like obsessed with Wicked. I'm talking about like Wicked Tree, Wicked, the memes, flip it around, Wicked Witch. I'm talking about ornaments, coffee mugs, karaoke. We just did New Year's Eve at our house, and most of his music was Wicked. So
we would get along so well.
Yeah, I mean, I love Wicked too, but like he loves it on a different degree. Like if he would, paint himself green, he would. But yeah,
I love that. I also love like Spring Awakening and Hair the musical. That one I really love too. But yeah, Wicked will always be number one. You can't beat it.
So of course, like tying that back into wrestling, do you feel like all those years, like doing all these different like dance styles and all that kind of stuff, do you feel like does that kind of go into your moveset, or have you learned stuff in dance that you feel like translates into your wrestling?
Oh, 100%. I think both are correct. I've definitely from dance have learned things and put them into my moves, and I truly think every athlete at some degree should take a level of dance, because it's so important to know how your body moves and get that flexibility. And I feel like that's why when I am wrestling, some people prefer to work with me, because I will make something look very pretty or very impactful because I know how my body moves and I know how to contort. And it worked a lot of like flexibility. I get a lot of my kicks from my years of dance, doing those fan kicks and head kicks, and just being able to do things like a back bend and a back handspring, or even doing the flips, it's all those years of dance. It's learning like how to just be light on my feet, how to just gain air. Sorry, I'm like very Italian. I put my full body into things.
Hey, we love it. We love very emotive interviews. And honestly, like I've seen like your matches, and there are some things that I know I can't do. Like if you were, I don't know if you were getting clotheslined or something, but then you went on your back, but you still had your legs folded backwards. So when they were going for the pin, you just kind of went like that with your legs backward. Like I needed a full body stretch after looking at that, because I definitely can't do that.
I mean, I stretch every day, so I can do that. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad to know someone noticed that. It's my favorite stretch. There's nothing like laying down and just seeing your knees by your ears. It's great.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's that yoga pose, right? I forget what that yoga pose is called. It's
I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna rebrand it Orgasmic because it's a great
I think you
stretch.
should.
There you go.
It's a good
So I
point
don't
too, like taking dance
Yeah.
for athletes, honestly, 'cause especially for footwork and stuff. I mean, it's such a good point,
Oh
honestly.
yeah. There's so many times where I see some athletes and I'm like, I'd love to put you in a ballet class and watch you stand on your tiptoes for a half hour. Just watch that calf go.
You know what that
Yeah.
you know what that reminds me of was in Pumping Iron with Arnold. I don't know if you've seen that. It was like a documentary in the 70s. But one of the first scenes is him and his best friend are in like a ballet class trying to like be more elegant because like bodybuilding's very showy, showboaty. So they're in this like ballet class all giant and muscular and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. It helps you because you need certain form and how to like open up your body to keep that form. And I just think it like really helps with like mobility in your ankles and your legs and just being able to kind of move your body. I mean, we're all like pretty built. Most wrestlers are like pretty built, so we're like pretty stiff by nature. So any extra stretching would be probably beneficial and extra movement.
Absolutely. I'm actually a personal trainer as a full-time job, so it's always interesting to hear what people's routines are. So what's your routine like now? What's your gym routine? What do you do outside of the professional wrestling training?
Oh my God. So I've recently devoted myself to hating myself and going to the gym almost every day, like to some degree.
Nice.
So I used to go like three times a week because then I would train 2 times a week. So I was like, that's not really working for me. So I started to go every single day I possibly could. Like even if it was like, oh, it's like after this, I'm going to the gym. Like it could be 11 p.m. I was like, I'm going to the gym. It could be 5 a.m. when I wake up, going to the gym. So right now it's just gym, and then training 2 times a week.
Nice.
Yes. Good routine.
But I'm not always like heavy lifting in the gym. I'm not always like going in and doing deadlifts. Like that's crazy. Sometimes I just go and walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes or do the staircase or do like a full body. Sometimes I just go and do like some yoga for 30 minutes.
For sure.
I feel like the heavy lifting isn't like I don't like I know like historically, like if you look at wrestlers, like Ultimate Warrior, Hogan, or whatever, and of course there was more than heavy lifting. There was also some chicken and rice, if you know what I'm talking about. But
Vitamins.
but I feel like taking your vitamins, but like. Movement I feel like is very important, and I feel like you don't always have to lift like 600 pounds to get big, like just doing that kind of stuff, the flexibility, all that kind of stuff, I feel like is really beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. And everyone's different. Everyone works out for different results. If like you want to be like super, super jacked and like super built, sure. You might not be as flexible, but like sure. But if you want to be a little more flexible, maybe you just go down a weight or two. You don't try and like get super stocky. I mean, it's different. Working out is like everyone's own personal journey. So it's whatever they want.
I agree.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have, so I'm kind of curious because I know like your mom didn't like fully support you doing like wrestling, at least based on like the interviews that I've read. And so you actually did go to school, right? You went to university and you got a major in anthropology. Is that true?
I did.
So how did you pick anthropology?
Do you remember that show Bones on TNT?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why?
Because I thought what she did was so cool. Because she would just show up to a crime scene and be like, "Oh, these bones. Okay, 28 female from this part of the world definitely died from some contusion." I'm like, "How did she know that?" Like, and then I was like, "Oh, she's an anthropologist." And then my school, New Paltz, had an anthropology program, and I was like, "Let's do that." And then the rest was history.
Did you find it fascinating once you actually got into studying anthropology?
Very fascinating. It's a very niche kind of major, but I wish more people kind of took a class on it. It opened up my brain and like my knowledge to other cultures, and especially in terms of like, I feel like it's very prevalent in today's culture with all the pronouns and genders and how people like to be identified or seen in the world. You know, I learned many cultures have many different genders and many different like sexualities that we on this side of the planet, it's this side of the world, maybe wouldn't think. So like, it was just really interesting to learn how like other people view these, what they called like man-made constructs, like concepts and constructs. And yeah, it was, like I said, it was such a cool major. You could learn all things about culture, like how language came to be and like how certain cultures like use certain like language tics, or like how if you're born here or born there, you might have a different way of speaking because of where you are. It's a very fascinating major and covers a lot of topics.
Yeah, I mean, like I studied sociology and criminology, so it's kind of like in a similar vein of anthropology, because they also required me to take anthropology classes for it. But just like, yeah, like you said, it's like taking a look. I was always interested in like the big picture, or like what, you know, society is or human nature is as like a whole, and it kind of gave me a specific lens to see it through. And like you said, like different cultures, even like Native American cultures, the concept of like two-spirit, and all of these different religious ideas and concepts, where like you said, the concept of gender and all this kind of stuff is a construction. It's all created technically by man. Like we created ways to communicate with each other. Right. Exactly. It's all a box. And yeah, I found it personally fascinating. Do you feel like anthropology in a certain way kind of like helped you? You said it unlocked your brain, but has it also helped you in your wrestling career too?
Yeah, I think, well, one, I wrote my college thesis paper on wrestling, on women's wrestling specifically, and like how pop culture can change wrestling culture.
I love it.
And that was around the time when women started wrestling in Saudi Arabia, and I wrote about that and the history, and like why it was such a big deal. But I think the major helped me more in the sense of like how to deal with people behind the scenes, or just in general. Just, I think that major just taught me that you don't know who's comes from where, what walk of life they have. So just treat everyone with like basic kindness and respect, and it'll make life easier, because you don't know.
Exactly. I agree. Gives you perspective.
It does. It really did.
So I guess we can start kind of rolling into like your actual wrestling career. And you were trained by Brian Myers, who I believe is Kurt Hawkins, right? Kurt Hawkins. Yes. And Pat Buck at Creative Pro.
Yes.
So I mean, like there's some alumni, including yourself, but I mean MJF, of course, Chris Statlander, they all came out of Creative Pro Wrestling. What do you think is like the secret sauce of that school that produces so many people like yourself and MJF and Chris Statlander?
I think for me, it was always that we looked for quality and not quantity. We don't care. Like, we don't care if we have like 1, 2, 5, 10, 15 students. It's never about the amount. It's about the work you put in. And I think that's just the kind of culture we breed at Creative Pro. It's a lot of respect and hard work and dedication and just showing up and giving your all and like being a family about it. So I really think having that mindset, it just breeds success, because we want everyone to be better. But if someone's getting success, we support them, we help them, we push them. And it's just everyone trying to uplift each other. And I think Brian and Pat really did a fantastic job of hammering that kind of culture into the school. And I feel like that's the reason why we have a lot of successful people out on the indies and out on TV. We have the new generation coming up, of the likes of Gabby Forzas and Nat Castles and Shooter Boys and Bobby Cassell and Nick Robles. Like, just from what they've taught us, it's kept that culture going, keeps that success going.
I mean, it's amazing about the amount of people that came out of that school. Really great success record. And of course, like Brian Myers, I feel like is also kind of known as like a tough love kind of trainer. Do you feel like is there any kind of like critique or like advice that he gave you during your time at Creative Pro that you feel like really kind of resonated with you or from your trainers there?
I don't know if Brian's the one who gave tough love, maybe because I'm just like his favorite. So he might just not give me that much tough love. I'm just kidding. No, Brian was always very straightforward and to the point, and he it was never. There's not one solid thing I can like point out. It's just that he never minced his words, and he always supported and always cared about you, but always was real with you. And if you ever needed anything, you could go to him. And the nice part about that was he'll give you the answer, and it's 100% what he believes to be true. But he'll let you know, like, this is just my opinion, but this is how I would do it. And I appreciate that. Someone who understands, like, it's just my opinion, might not work for you, but this is what I would do, or this is how I did it, and maybe it works for you. So I really appreciate him in that aspect. And Pat, I would say Pat Buck was a little more of the tough love kind of guy. Yeah. He's a man of few words, but I will say one time he didn't give me like a specific advice, but he did compliment me one time, and that to me was like winning the lottery. He was showing something to some people, and he said, you know, maybe one day you'll work your way up to be like an Aaron Rourke. And I was like,
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, really? Thank you so much. But no, they love and they care about all their students, and they're just two of the best people. I couldn't ask for better trainers, and I also like want to say like Max Caster was also such a huge hand in training me as well. Like I wrestled him every single day, 4 times a week for 2.5, 3 years. Like before I moved to Massachusetts, like I wrestled him all the time, and he helped me get better and took time to help me. Him and Johnny Clash, who was another Creative Pro student alumni. So yeah, it's awesome how you have like 2 main trainers, but you also have like people there to help even give you that extra credit, you know?
And Max Caster, I completely forgot about bringing up Max Caster because he was also part of it. But yeah, absolutely. Like Max Cat, do you stay in contact like with them? Are you in constant communication with them, or how's your relationship with like the folks who graduated from Creative Pro?
Our relationships are good, you know. We understand. I think everyone understands in wrestling, like, you know, when you are at that level, you got so much going on, and like everything's a day-to-day thing. Like, do we talk like all the time? No, but like, do I see him like pretty often? Yeah, like he'll come to Cap when I'm running classes, or I'll see him at like our friend's house, you know. So I do see him. I see MJF here every now and then. I talk to Kristen at least like a couple times a month. She's my boo, my ride or die. Love you, girl. So proud of you. But yeah, I keep in contact with all of them. You know, it's a family thing, you know. No matter how long you go without talking to someone, you know, you're from that school, you're in that family. It's like you picked up where you left off.
That's what I really love about that too. And like you said, it's like people traveling like almost 300 days out of the year. You're always busy. You're always constantly going from one airport to another. And, you know, the time to just like hang out and chill is probably not as frequent. I guess I'm kind of curious though, like your interactions with MJF, does he live the gimmick even like when the cameras aren't rolling, or like, how is he with you?
That might be it.
Damn.
I'll just say that MJF is he is quite a character, and he is a good friend when he wants to be, and he is really good at his job.
Nice.
That's the promo clip.
And I will, yeah, right. And I will be always thankful for him because he stuck his neck out for me in 2019 for the Beyond Discovery Gauntlet. He put my name in that hat. He threw my name in that ring. And I feel like it's because of him and giving me that opportunity that I was able to make a little bit of a name before like the world shut down and I got injured. But I feel like that really helped me because then I had something to come back to. I had Beyond. I had just done 5 weeks of the Discovery Gauntlet. So I'll always be thankful for Max, even though he can be a scumbag.
But he's our scumbag, right? As everyone says.
I guess I'll keep him.
What
He's
was
okay, I guess.
what was the
He's
injury?
alright.
What was the
Yeah, what was the
injury?
injury?
I was recovering. So I was recovering from an ankle injury I had already had. So I rushed the recovery process to come back to wrestling. So you can imagine when I had a trimallear fracture in my ankle, so I broke all 3 bones at once.
Fuck.
So I was supposed to be out for like a year, and I came back in 6 months.
Hey.
Like my doctor was
It's like
"You
John
can
Cena
start
Royal
looking-"
Rumble.
Yeah, it was like my doctor was like, "You can start walking." And I was like, "Word, I can start wrestling. Great." And
Hopping
he
and
was like, "I
jumping.
guess, but like, just take it a little easy." And he gave me the doctor's note, and I was like in there freaking hobbling on one leg. So it was like, just let's go. But by the Discovery Gauntlet, it healed a little bit, but it was like recovering still. Oh, those times.
So I guess I'm kind of curious, like when you first started like training and getting into wrestling, like what was the hardest thing to learn for you as a wrestler? Is it like taking bumps? Like how did that feel when you first just kind of landed on the mat?
It felt like I fell on cement. It was
Right.
it sucked shit. It was so awful. But it was one of those things where you land and then you're kind of like, all right, it's gonna suck, but I'll get used to it. And then you just keep doing it and doing it. And now it's like it hurts, but it's like, all right, it's like a callus on your hand, you know? It's like it hurts, but just keep going.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the consistent perspective, like from like other wrestlers that we've seen. It's just like falling on your back. It just literally sounds like it takes the wind out of you and you just fall on concrete. I mean, I don't know how the hell you guys like go like off a ladder or when people do it off steel cages and all that kind of shit. I mean, it's crazy. Like it's wild.
That
I
ain't
mean,
fake.
you know, adrenaline's a crazy thing.
I mean,
sure.
I'll say like that. You'll forget that you were injured until like you wake up the next morning.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I broke this finger like in November of 2024, I think, 2024. 2 minutes into a 35-minute.
Oh
And
god!
just because like the crowd was into it and like whatever, I rolled out of the ring and snapped it back into place and just like went in. And I was like ready to go. I was like, let's freaking go. I like had wrapped it up under the ring. I was there like just like, let's go. So you know, adrenaline's crazy, and we just do some crazy things, man.
That's hardcore. I mean, like one of your first matches was the Armageddon Hell in a Cell. So I guess you're like, you know what?
You gotta live up to that.
I'm inspired.
That I don't know if anyone's ever, if any of you guys have ever broken your finger. That is quite a feeling.
I've dropped
Honestly,
a weight on
I
my toe. It might have been like a
but like
microfracture.
you didn't break a bone. You didn't break a bone before.
Nah,
I mean,
nothing
still,
serious.
even dropping something on your toe, like, dude, there's something about ligaments or like something about like your phalanges where it's like when that shit broke, like I thought someone had cut my whole hand off. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I guess it was just that adrenaline that must have kept you going, right?
Yeah, because I was just like, we're in it. Like, I can't stop. I'm not gonna. What, you think I'm gonna call this match because my finger's hanging off to the right? Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're like, we got 28 minutes left in this thing. We gotta keep this thing going.
Yeah, I didn't drive up 5.5 hours for nothing. Come on.
Oh no.
So I do kind of want to dive also into like your character and your identity. And I gotta say, I love that you call yourself Evil Gay and the Dimepiece. I mean, perfection. So how did you develop the Evil Gay persona, and how does it represent you?
So the Evil Gay persona comes from, so when I was in art in Limitless with Ava Everett and Ricky Smokes, Ava used to joke and say like, you're like the anti-gay because, you know, they think gay people are like the sidekicks and the ones who are like your bestie and like will hype you up and say nice things and be like, yes, girl, you go get them. And she's like, you're not like that at all. You're so nasty. You're so rude. You're such a bitch. Like, and she's like, you're like
gay.
Yeah, she's like, you're like an evil gay. And she was like, honestly, she kind of came up with it for me. And I was like, that's so funny. And then the next time I saw her, she had made that graphic, the dripping evil gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, can I use this? And she was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'll never be able to thank her enough for that. But yeah, then everyone caught on to it and people would be like, evil gay? Like, what does that mean? And then they would see me and they'd be like, I get it. I get it.
Makes sense.
And I guess what it means is like I'm just the opposite of what you would probably expect someone more typically gay to be. I'm like not your best friend. My character's not your best friend. My character is not like your number one Judy. Like I'm not here to lift you up. I'm here to push you down. Just
yeah, this isn't Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So like your face paint, I mean like that, the kind of stuff that you've done like in terms of artwork has been amazing. And like the thing that really kind of like really struck with me was that profile picture of that full body, like face all the way to the arm. It kind of reminds me, it gives a little like Finn Balor. I mean, of course, like there are so many other wrestlers who use like face paint and stuff, but like what inspired you to start doing that for yourself?
So it started. So I've been doing crap on my face since like 2019. I had re-debuted after injuring my ankle, and I was wrestling Chris Stat, and I was like, I want to do something cool. I want to do something different. And she used to do like the dots when she was the alien on her eyes. So I did that with rhinestones to be like, oh, I'm paying homage. And then Ember Moon, I believe, she just wrestled at Money in the Bank, and she had done like these gold foils around the face. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to steal that. So I did that. And then everyone was like, oh, like your face paint or like your jewels are so pretty. And then I was like, I think this might be like the thing. Because I love that crap. I love bedazzling. I love painting my face. I love just getting into that whole thing. I loved Finn Balor. I love Demon Finn Balor. Like, if I could be a demon gay Aaron Rourke, that would be my wet dream. That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing to see you
Evil
wrestle
gay.
Finn Balor.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the demon and the demon gay. Give me that
match. The way I would drop so much money so that body paint would stay on me for at least like a week, because I would never want to take it off after that. It'd be the peak. But then like the face paint always like changes, you know, because I get a little bored and then I'm like, let's start doing like different things. But I also think it changes with the character. Like I started doing the half face and like then the quarter face just because I felt like my character needed a little bit of an edge, a little more of like a modern kind of screw loose kind of edge. And then now we've kind of come back to like now I started doing eyeshadow and like stencil artwork and tears and rhinestones again. So it's all like one big circle, but it's always coming with the evolution of Aaron. He's always ever changing, effervescent, always serving a different look, serving a different piece. I think for him, every time he walks out, he wants someone to like be like, oh, I've never seen him do that. Or, oh, that's a great outfit. Oh, that's great makeup. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. Oh, he's so fresh. Like he wants to be the conversation. Not just the conversation. He wants to be the whole press conference.
Oh. And I will agree with you that 100% full, because the thing that is very fascinating to me and that you do consistently is also like reinvention. And I feel like those are the people who are the most successful in the wrestling business. And like just kind of I guess like if I tie it into like pop culture, for example, like if we look at someone like a Chapel Roan, who is, if you look at her concerts or like even like, or Lady Gaga or like people like that, where every single appearance or situation is like an entire story or an art piece when they are performing or when they're on the runway or taking a picture. I mean, but that really draws you in. And I think it really adds another dimension to a character. And especially like for you, I mean, it's fantastic. Like whatever you're doing with that, you should keep doing that. Like all your inventions, all your artistic like changes and that kind of stuff, that is really cool.
Thank you. I also use it as a way to like show my opponents. Like it's almost like, you know, when like a puffer fish like puffs because it's like
Right.
trying to intimidate. It's like I'm trying to show you like this is maybe pretty and whatever, but this is accurately describing what's underneath. It's this glamour demon that wants to literally ruin your life. So proceed with caution. Don't let all this fool you.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with like the ass smack in the match? You talked about intimidating people, and I see you smack people's asses, and then you know that obviously kind of throws them off their game.
Just for that reason, you know, it's fun to I think my biggest advantage, like a gold dust, was I look very unique, we'll say. So they're already a little thrown off. And then, you know, I come in there and I'm kind of like coy and like bouncing around and kind of skipping and being a little like, ooh, let's go. And then, you know, I lay a big smack on them, like throws them off. I'm already in their head. Light work.
It's amazing. Yeah, I get a huge kick out of that.
And I think some of them like it. They just don't want to admit it.
That's what I'm saying too.
Just kidding.
So in interviews, you've also kind of like mentioned that sometimes, or initially at least, you were kind of nervous about being a little too flamboyant.
Yes.
How do you feel like where was your turning point where you decided to just lean into your character?
It actually comes really early on in my career. I had my first singles match like 7 months after I started wrestling. It was against VSK, and he was Ultimate Babyface. This was like the first inception of Cap TV, and I was debuting, and I was a heel, and I didn't know what to do. It was my first singles match. It was a big match. Like, I wanted to show up and show out, and I was like, I just don't feel like I can go in there and like lie. Like, I feel like I have to go in there and be what I am, and that's a bitch. And I just said, fuck it. I'll just do it. I'll go out there. I'll be flamboyant. I'll be the diva that I think I am. I'll be the hottest thing in the room, even though, like, I ain't shit. Like, I just started, but you couldn't tell me nothing that day. I had purple hair and purple trunks, and I felt fabulous. And then I did it, and everyone loved it. And everyone was like, you are such a nasty piece of shit. And I said, thank you so much. Happy to be your bitch.
So how much of Aaron Rourke, like the person, is in the character that we see under the lights? How much of you is in that character? Do you feel like you're a bitch in real life, like outside of the ring?
I think that depends on who you ask. I don't think I'm not that extreme. I think Aaron is a little bit of me, but he's kind of everything that that I'm afraid to be and also like don't want to be, because he's very egotistical, loud, like super like outrageous, and like when he's in a bad mood, he's nasty. He will do whatever it takes to win. But I also emulate that he is unapologetically himself. So, and I kind of live life like that. Like, I'm unapologetically me in and out of the ring. I'm not as nasty out of the ring. I like to think I'm a much nicer, quieter, and like calmer person than Aaron Rourke. But there's always like a little bit of someone in a character. So I think for me, Aaron is just a very, very exaggerated alter ego that lives in here. So when I get to do that, I get to be this chilled out, bald-headed egg most days.
And I mean, like you have something to prove. Like, you are out there to make your mark, and I think that is important, especially in like a profession like professional wrestling. So I know, and like I watched this. I forgot which promotion it was. I'm sorry, but you did this thing called Two Truths and a Lie, and you said that you were colorblind, and I guess you said your hair What was the color that you were trying to go for? And it was actually a different color. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, so that's an old MCW interview
Yes,
when I
MCW.
had hair. So that's how you know it's old. It was, I wanted to dye my hair purple,
Yeah, that's what it
but
was.
I obviously am colorblind and stupid. So I saw a bottle that read aquamarine
Yeah.
and it looked purple. And I was like, oh, it must be purple. Let me just. And then when I watched it, I went, hmm. And then someone was like, I love your blue hair. And I was like, and they're like, yeah, it's also kind of like green, like and like an aquamarine. And I was like, so
has
I guess
that like translated into like wardrobe malfunctions too, or was it just the one hair incident?
you know, the best thing about being Aaron Rourke is that he wears every single color possible. So it doesn't really matter that he's colorblind. It all just gets thrown on him in some way or another. Like when I do gear or like I, want specific gear, I am very like, these are the fabrics I like, or like this is what I saw and I like. And I don't, whatever color it looks like to me, I'm like, as long as it looks like that to me, I don't care.
Hey, absolutely. I mean, everything that I've seen, like, I mean, it looks cool. Like it could be a slightly different shade of a color that you originally thought it was, but well, it still looks good. Do you wear do you have like colorblind like glasses? Like if you're driving, can you tell the difference between like green and I don't know, is it yellow? I don't remember like what the issue is.
Yeah. So like with driving, it's like, it's fine. Like they just don't look like the colors they say to me. Like green doesn't look green. Green looks
Right.
white. And like yellow looks orange and red just looks red. So
Okay.
there's a lot of times I mix up the yellow and the red and you would think, Ben, that's kind of really dangerous. But have no fear. Public education, the red light is always furthest to the left or on top.
Yep.
So
That's something you can always just rely on is light
Yes.
positioning.
Yeah, just the red one's on top or all the way to the left. So if it's in the middle, it's yellow. So just stop in general.
So I guess I want to ask you, like there, in terms of like, news and I mean, it's part of your identity. And, there's a lot of, conversation about being like the first out gay person or gay man on WWE in terms of the WWE ID program, which I want to dive into in a second. But do you feel like, from your perspective, like just personally, do you feel like there's a responsibility to the LGBTQ plus community, or do you feel like you'd rather let your wrestling do the talking first? How do you feel about that?
That's a great question. When I first started, I feel like it was just let my wrestling do the talking. But as I gotten older and like life has life today is interesting. Obviously, not to dive in too deep, but it's interesting, especially for the LGBT community right now. So I feel like I have a responsibility to broadcast it as much as possible because I have always been saying that I wonder what would have been if I saw me growing up. Like if I saw what I put out there growing up, how I would feel about me. Because I feel like, and I feel like I know, I probably wouldn't have felt as bad about myself if I had seen representation like this. Like how Aaron Rourke comes out. Feminine, flamboyant, totally unapologetic himself. So when I started, I just wanted to be like, yeah, like I'm gay, but like watch me wrestle and be fucking amazing. And now it's like, all right, well, like I'm a great wrestler, but now I have a responsibility, especially with this platform, to show like we as talent, queer people as talent, like offer a lot and are not sideshow acts or like comedy bits. We can be, but we can also be taken very seriously, even looking the way I look. just because I come out in rhinestones and feathers and color contacts and makeup doesn't mean I can't go in there and beat the crap out of you. Because I can, because I trained to do it.
Exactly. Amen. and again, it like just seeing you perform and doing all that is truly inspirational. And like you said, it's like for wrestling for a while, and it's like I don't think anyone can pretend that it wasn't otherwise. I mean, like gay wrestlers or characters like I don't know, Bill and Chuck, for example, like it was a one note character and it was meant to be a comedy act. Like it wasn't meant to be taken as seriously as like yourself or I don't know, Sonny Kiss, Devon Monroe or Devin Monroe, and these characters, these wrestlers like you guys now wrestling in 2026 and in the past 10 years. I mean, it's really inspirational. And yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of that shit when I was younger besides, I mean, Bill and Chuck, but that's not something that like that made me want to kind of like retreat into myself a little more. It's not easy for everybody to come out, especially when there's an environment that is trying to make it look like a comedy instead of something like, yes, it's part of me, but I'm also this badass wrestler that can kick your ass like yourself.
Exactly. It's just it's just presenting that, just letting like we can do whatever everyone else does. It's almost taking away, like it's putting it out there to show them like this can just be normal. And the audience has shown like they're very supportive, whether online or in other companies or whatever. There's always been support for like LGBT wrestlers and for athletes. So I think it's just one of those things where if we just keep needling it and keep hammering it and just keep being like it's the world will change and it will be for the good, like just keep letting it happen, I think we'll see like some great things. And I'm happy to be a little part of that, and I hope that I am making headway for maybe the future for myself or for people who are trying to figure themselves out right now, and then they see that and they're like, maybe I'm like him.
Absolutely. And we need more of you. And I'm really happy that you're part of this like main platform. And that's kind of what I want to jump into with the WWE ID program. And of course, Evolve, which kind of ties into WWE ID and Performance Center, all that stuff. So you were offered the WWE ID contract. It was like a year and some change now. I think it was like November 2024, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So after you had a bunch of standout matches, some scouts, some people in some kind of ivory tower or something looked at you and they were like, all right, we think we want to give this specific person, a contract. How did that come about for you? Like, do you know like how it got to that point? Or
no, I mean, that when I had found out like earlier that day when I got handed that contract. So I like known a little beforehand, but I obviously did not expect it. And you just know, we all just heard like rumblings, we all just heard like little things like, I heard there's this like little program. I heard this thing might be happening. So I didn't really know much. All I knew was I was getting offered this ID contract, and then I had a conversation with Gabe Sapolsky about it, and then it was signed, sealed, delivered. Whatever it takes to get me there. I was honored to be a part of that first class. I mean, it's history. This is the first time they've done something like this, and I was part of the first class. Like, it's really freaking cool, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, I in Chicago, I feel like the main wrestlers that came out of the WWE ID program was from freelance. But David, you maybe, or Chris, you can correct me if I'm mistaken. But yeah, like Kylie Ray, for example, I know she's on maternity leave now, but she was a WWE ID prospect. She's worked in freelance, and Lainey Luck, I think, is the other person. So.
I've seen Cappuccino Jones wrestle here, but he's not from here.
Oh yeah, Cappuccino
Yeah, he's
Jones,
from South.
current
Pretty sure he's
WWE
Texas.
champion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, do you know, like, okay, so I know, like, there's rumblings, but do you know, like, did you ever, like, get curious of, like, how they go about scouting people? Or is it, like, some guy with, like, a cigar and a hat in the crowd and be like, I like that kid. I like the cut of your jib. Or is it, like, they're just looking at YouTube videos and they're like, hey, this person's interesting. Let's reach out. Do you have any idea, like, how that works?
I feel like it's a lot of, it's like maybe not so much like the guy with the cigar just sitting there like, let me tell you something, kid. But it's a lot of everything. It's seeing who they are online and tracking them. And Gabe being a town scout, he goes to these shows, he makes trips, and he goes and sees these talents and who stands out and who doesn't. I don't really know, to be quite honest. I just figured it was one of those things where I just had to keep going out and keep wrestling and just keep putting my name out there until finally someone like emailed me or something, or was just like, hey, you have a tryout, or hey, I got you a tryout, or hey, there's this extra work, or hey, there's this going on. I had no idea how I was ever going to get there. I was just like, I'm just going to work and work and work until something happens. And it did.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see, like, what you've done so far, and I'm excited to see what you do in the future. So let me see. So how do you feel like in terms of, like, so the ID experience, the WWE ID experience, they talk about, you're being contracted with WWE and WWE ID as a program, and, they bill it as like, additional resources for you to train and people to talk to and that kind of stuff. So I'm curious, like, how does it change your, like, day-to-day life as, like, an indie wrestler? Do you feel like, you have more pressure now that you have this WWE stamp? What's your
For
thought?
sure. I feel like, you have to show everyone why you were picked, because everyone wants to be picked, right? Everyone wants that opportunity, and you have to show them now why you were picked. And now people come to you for advice, and since you're learning what they want to learn, now people come to you, so you feel this added responsibility to pass on this knowledge so everyone can get better while you yourself are also trying to get better. So and they give us extra resources. Because of them, I've been able to experience WWE PC and go there and train when we film for Evolve, or when have ID shows where I get to wrestle certain talents that I probably wouldn't be able to wrestle on the indies because we live in different locations. And because they give us a certain pay each week, we can go places and use that for our hotels, or if we want to go train down at Natty Neidhart's or Ace Steele's or Pete Dunne's, or if we want to go somewhere, like if we have a little extra money, we can spend that to get a hotel and to get there. So there's a lot of benefits to it, and it's really impacted my life and my indie wrestling and my wrestling in general in such positive ways.
It's amazing. And yeah, me and Chris went to Natty's book signing in Rosemont. I mean, it was last month. It must have been like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But she's really cool. She's really personable too. She's very, like, just raw and honest. Like, she doesn't care. Like, she can drop an F-bomb or whatever. Like, she's just really she's cool, just being, like, honest with you and just having a regular conversation. And I love that about her, and also her book. Did you get a chance? So did you get a chance to train with Natty or interact with her?
I did twice.
How did that go?
It was amazing, as anyone would expect. I mean, her and TJ are wrestling gurus and, like, grew up in this business, and, like, to hear some of their stories and just to see how much they love it. It just always, every time I went there and I just saw how hard, because they work hard in that dungeon. Like, it is not like, she's not taking it easy on any of us. She's making us do stuff. And I really appreciate that. And she's so caring and so loving. And so she's just so giving. And she doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to invite people to her dungeon to train with her, but she does for the love of the game, for the love of the business, and to help others. She's just so real and so honest and so herself. And her and TJ create this, like, amazing environment at the dungeon. I'm honored that I have the ability to say, like, I got to train with them. That is, like, a personal honor of mine.
Yeah, I mean, like seeing her in AAA and GCW and doing all these things that she's currently doing, because I feel like WWE for the longest time, I mean, they used her as a way to enhance other talents, but like this current iteration of her, I want that on like WWE, like Raw and SmackDown type of TV. Like that character should be there and start whooping some ass because, yeah, she
I'll be
deserves
sitting
it.
front row. I'll be sitting
Yeah.
front row. Like, let's go, Natty.
Amen.
Beat some bitch's ass. Let's go.
So, of course, like you've also been on WWE Evolve. I know you recently had the Team ID versus Team PC match. So, how do you feel like the environment of Evolve tapings compares to like a typical Friday or Saturday night on the independent circuit?
Well, it's obviously worse because the PC talent are heinous and they suck. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, it's obviously very different because it's very professional and it's very, it's the dance. It's what we're doing. It's TV. It's everything is. So, there's a little pressure. There's a little like, all right, we got to do really good and like do what we got to do and what they want. Versus, like a indie booking, you might be a little more relaxed. You're wrestling like having a chiller match, or maybe you're having the main event that you're super excited about. Not saying I'm never excited for Evolve. I'm always excited because I just love to go out there, and anytime I feel like uncertain or uneasy, I just look at the buckle and it says WWE on it. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. So we're gonna do this. But it's just, there's a little bit more pressure. It's a little more business for Evolve. And, whereas like on indies, you might be able to like do something a little fun, a little funny. When we go to TV, it's like, we are doing what we're doing and it's going to be good.
Is there anybody from the Performance Center that kind of surprised you the most being in the ring with them? Anybody that kind of stuck out for you personally?
Kendall Gray. I know like everyone's about her right now. I'm also one of those people about her. We just like worked around a little bit in the ring and she was just so clean and smooth and I was just enamored. I was like, wow, she just like really gets it. Hank and Tank, they are an NXT tag team. They were just former tag team champions. Really awesome, really fun to like train with and work with in the ring. Really, really awesome people. All the people there, they're very hungry. They're very ready to work. They have a really strong work ethic, and I'm just very honored to be in the mix. And they're very respectful to the people, like to I think the indie people. They're very nice to us, and I think because they understand we've been training for this too. We train for this just differently, but we're here to make the best of the opportunity we're given and to help them and to help each other.
Mm. And so I guess I'm kind of curious about like that business aspect of like WWE being on TV and that kind of stuff. Has there been any kind of conversation, because like your persona is evil gay, right? And like, did they like when you're on TV and that kind of stuff, have they been like, hey, maybe you should tone this down a bit or you should change this? Have you had that kind of conversation? Or are they like, just be yourself and then do your thing?
No, they're very much like being myself. Like I kind of didn't want to put evil gay out there yet on WWE TV because it's different for a big platform, like a big TV platform versus like an indie platform. Like it's just different. So to really throw that out there right away, it might turn some people off. So it's like, let them get acquainted to me. It's the same thing with my career. I wasn't evil gay when I first started. Mm-hmm. Like I was perfection personified. I was perfection Aaron Rourke. And then it grew into the Dimepiece. And then because of one random conversation I had in 2021, I became evil gay. So it's like, just let them get acquainted to who I am. And then when they're ready for evil gay, I will give them evil gay. But I still give the same attitude and the same thing with the Dimepiece. It's just a name.
I agree. What do you feel like is like what is one thing about the like WWE way of doing things, especially at like Evolve tapings, of course, like that surprised you the most? when dealing with
I
that?
think just how much goes into it. I think people think, we just go out there and just the camera rolls and we go. There's so many moving parts and facets, and to watch it all back of the house and do it front of the house it's really it's really interesting to watch how the sausage gets made. So I would say that it's just seeing how everything comes together. It's always a moving parts, moving facets, even though it's like regimented and like pretty like to the T, everything's moving and anything can change and everything's happening all at once. So it's crazy to sit back and watch that sometimes.
Do you feel like it's intimidating, or do you feel like you're able to like adapt to that kind of style?
I think at first I was intimidated a little bit just because like it was brand new to me. Like this is what I've been training for, but like I never done that. But I think my years of theater and performing, it kind of helped because I was ready for a stage like that. I'm not uncomfortable in front of a camera, on a mic, in front of a crowd. Stuff like that doesn't bother me. So I think I was more ready to be like, show them what I can do. Because like I love to entertain. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean all that experience, and I mean theater background, all that kind of stuff, that is really like just a one-to-one kind of experience for just being in front of a crowd of how many hundreds or thousands of people.
Yeah, I don't know what would be like more intimidating to do in front of a crowd, stand there in like your sparkly trunks or stand there dressed as a knife, playing a knife in the Beauty and the Beast musical. So when you're kind of standing there like a glittery golden knife, kind of just doing like can kicks, you kind of get over the fear of people
You can
like
conquer
looking at you. I mean,
anything.
like, yeah, you can do anything.
So I guess like you done the can dancing as a sword, and of course you're in sparkly trunks, and you pull off these amazing matches and all these little tricks that you do during a match. So like when you're putting a match together, are you someone who likes to plan every beat before the match, or do you prefer to kind of like feel the crowd and call it in the ring? How do you go about matches?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think every wrestler would say it's like a little bit of both, right? Like, there's just certain things that people do nowadays that you can't just go out there and just do it. But it's always important to feel the crowd because the crowd controls the match. You don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to overstay your welcome. You have to listen to the crowd. I mean, the crowd is telling you if you're doing a good job or a bad job. So, go with what the crowd's doing. If they're liking what you're doing, keep going. If they're not, switch it up. And and I know to some people that sounds crazy and intimidating and like, how could you switch it up like on the fly like that? But when you're a trained professional, you work with the crowd. You give them what they want to see.
Exactly. I mean, I think the best wrestlers are the ones who also like can understand the vibe of the crowd. Or if they feel like it's turning a certain way, they kind of take advantage of that energy and emotion and use it to their advantage. So agreed. I agree with you. So I guess first of all, congrats, by the way. I know this is a bit late, but on winning the 2025 Vacation Land Cup. I know it was like back in August, but proud of you. Congrats on that. So like of course you've been like heavyweight champion for all these other promotions, but did that give you, how does that compare to winning like another championship belt? How do you view winning championship belts versus just like, just being in a storyline or wrestling? Like, do you feel like that is the goal, or that isn't like the be all end all?
I mean, no one's ever going to be mad about winning a championship or a trophy, right? Like,
Right.
It's pretty nice, but I think for most wrestlers, we do this not for the fame and the glory. It's lovely and we love it, and the money ain't bad either. But I think we do it for the love of it, and to tell that story and to be the perfect mix of violence and drama, and to serve characters and to serve moments for people to gravitate towards and to bite on and to resonate with. I think, you know, like, don't get me wrong, winning the VLC trophy is amazing. And I know exactly what that represents. I know exactly what that means to that company, to Randy, the promoter, to me. And I'm honored and grateful and very humbled to be part of a very small group of people who've held that trophy, that very prestigious trophy to that promotion and to wrestling. But, you know, a lot of my favorite things have been like the work I've done with people or the stories I've told or the stories I've told in the ring, because it's what I love to do. I love to be your villain. I love to be your hero. But most of all, I love to be your bitch. And if you put some gold on it, I just am your bitch personified.
When you're on the main roster, either on a Raw or a SmackDown, would you rather be a face or a heel?
What do you guys think?
Probably heel.
Probably.
Yeah, heel.
I'm being honest.
Listen, I love me some smiley Aaron Rourke who just loves to get in the ring, shake his ass, and just, you know, be sassy. But there's something about that early Aaron Rourke who is really, really just a nasty son of a gun. I think Aaron Rourke loves to be the person everyone hates. I think he loves to be the center of attention, and for him, boos are cheers. So boo away, bitches.
I mean, I feel like also like just being a heel, and like I was watching Stephanie McMahon's podcast. She also agrees. Is like being a heel just seems to be more fun too. You know, I feel like
God, yes.
it just seems like such an like it just feels like such a burden. Like I look at like Cody Rhodes or people who like need to be that baby face, but I feel like it's such a uphill climb to like just make people cheer you all the time. Like it just seems so much more fun to be a heel.
Yeah, I mean, well, in this world, especially today, it's easier to hate people than it is to like them, because we all want to like not like someone. Like you can give us a million reasons to like that person, but you give us one reason to hate that person, we hate that person.
Hate.
Yeah, just look at a Twitter timeline on any given day.
Exactly. That's the other part, is the online people who sit behind their keyboards, you know, eating Cheetos and writing the nastiest comments in the world. You know, and
some
people like
anime
Cody
avatar
Rhodes
or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And people like Cody Rhodes, you know, our ultimate wonderful hero, has to like sit there and take that, and that sucks. Meanwhile, this bitch will go back and be like, I hope, yada yada yada, and just read them to filth and send it on their way. And I'm like, I did my part.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're technically in character. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to.
In character, using that as an excuse to really tell them how I feel. Your choice.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, Chris, you mentioned Raw and SmackDown, and I think that you will be on Raw or SmackDown eventually. But now that you're under this WWE umbrella, is there anyone on the main roster that you are dying to test yourself against when you get the opportunity?
Ooh, that's so hard because there's so many, right? There's so many. I mean, the obvious answer is like a Seth Rollins, a Finn Balor. My ultimate dream is to wrestle Randy Orton before he retires. I hope he never retires. I hope I'm in the WWE before he retires. I'd love to wrestle him. There's just so many people. I just want to get there, you know, because for me, it doesn't matter who I wrestle. I love wrestling. So throw whoever you want at me. We'll make magic. We'll make it happen. I love it so much. So I just want people who want it. I want to wrestle the people who will like push me to be even better than I thought I could be.
Exactly. Just being passionate about it and the love of the game. I agree with that. So you're currently in Long Island. So is there like any plan when you get called up to like NXT, for example, would you like move to Orlando full time, or what would that look like?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not tied to Long Island. I love Long Island. I grew up here. My training school's here. My friends are here. But you know, I'm a Sagittarius like that. I'm a wanderlust kind of guy. I'm trying to move wherever. Plot me in the middle of Montana. I'll make it work.
Nice. My husband's a Sagittarius. You're December 1st, right? I think I saw that on Wikipedia. That's when you're famous. You have a Wikipedia profile, which is pretty
I was
awesome.
just about to say, I have a Wikipedia profile.
Yeah, you have a Wikipedia profile. That's how I knew your birthday.
Bro, they'll just make a Wikipedia for anything these days, huh?
Honestly.
I'm like completely gobsmacked right now. I can't believe it's the time to make a fucking Wikipedia about me. Thanks.
Yeah, Wikipedia, a whole championship history on there, some background information.
Bro, who you playing right now?
Yeah, you got some people working in behind the scenes, I guess, or something.
Well, if that person sees that, thank you so much for taking a deep dive of my life and making it a Wikipedia page. That's fucking lit. Sorry if I'm also cursing a lot.
No, it's fine.
Hey, we curse. Yeah, we curse on this podcast. We're not.
I'm a sailor. I'm a sailor when I talk. It's bad.
Let her rip.
Let her rip.
All right,
Fuck it.
Exactly. So why don't we look to the future? So what do you got going on as we're kind of wrapping it up here? What do you got going on in the future? What is in for Aaron Rourke in 2026?
I mean, you are going to see me on a lot more Evolves and a lot more programming through there. I also have the Limitless Rumble coming up January 16th.
Nice.
I have
Hey, my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Hey.
Thanks.
When I win that Rumble, I'll dedicate it to you.
Yeah.
For Dave.
I'll be like, thanks, Dave.
Very awesome.
I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I got Beyond coming up on the 23rd, Wrestling Open coming up on the 12th, Chaotic on the 31st, Creative Pro on the 1st of February. My schedule doesn't really stop. It acquires more.
Yeah, booked and blessed. I feel like we should talk with Matt Nix. You should make an appearance at Freelance in Chicago. That'd be fun.
I would love to. My brother lives in Chicago, so
Oh, amazing.
Hey.
it gives me a reason to go visit.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
They got a good wrestling scene, a good gay scene, by the way, too. Really good.
Freelance, you know my
Freelance.
contacts.
Yeah, exactly. Matt
I'll do
Nix,
business.
book him.
I'll do business.
Well, Aaron, thank you so much. This has been such a great conversation, and I would love to for you to come back on our show and have a longer conversation on this. So thank you, Aaron. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I love doing these. I love having these interviews. You guys are all great, and this was a wonderful time. And just thank you for giving me the space and the platform to talk about me. I love talking about me.
And we love hearing about you. So
Oh, stop it.
So that is a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot Wrestling Podcast. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.